Hello YouTube, my name is Jason and this is Lineman. Today we are going to go a little more over classes, but first I'm going to show you how to return a integer from a method. First we would need to create a method, so we would go public static. We're going to make it static, that way we don't have to create an object to use it. And then we're going to make it a int, and then we're going to call it lucky. Then we will throw a parameter in it of int x. Let's say int y equals x times 5. And then we will return y. So you would type return, use the keyword return, type y, and that's how you would return the object. Now we would have to call it by going lucky, and then we'll pass the value 4 to it. And then after that, all we would have to do is print it. Oh, well, I'd actually have to print it on the screen, right? Let me write system dot out dot print line and throw another one over here, and now it should print out on the screen. Okay, 20, because 4 times 5 is 20. And that's how you would pass a method to, well, that's how you would pass a method, pass a value to a method and then return another value to it, because we returned it to this when we called it. Now let me explain it a little bit. What we did was we created a new class. We gave it the public keyword, that way anything could use it. We gave it the static keyword so we didn't have to create an object inside the class to call the method. We gave it a int return value, and we called it lucky. And then we gave it one parameter called x. And then we created an integer called y, and we made that integer equal to x, whatever we called from here, and multiplied that by 5. And then we returned y, and that was the output of lucky, with passing the variable 4 to the parameter x. You can also pass a class as a return type. What you would have to do is you would have to create a class, and I'm going to call this dog, and then I want to create a dog constructor, so I'll go ahead and do that. Now I have a dog constructor, and now all I have to do is make this return a dog. And as you see, I'm going to get some errors. I need to take this off, and I need to make that a dog, and then I need to say right here new dog, and then call the constructor. Alright, and then all I'd have to do from here is go lucky. I want to take that parameter out of here, and then I need to give it something to return. So let's go ahead and say system dot out, and let's say hero. Okay, and now as you can see, I'm calling lucky. Lucky is creating a dog class, well, a dog object called y, and it's calling the dog constructor without no parameters, and then it's returning y to this right here. So this should actually print out hero, and when I print it, there we go, hero. And that's how you would call a class in Java. That's how you would return a class in Java. Alright, let me delete all this stuff right here because I don't need it anymore. And next I'm going to teach you how to use the this keyword. And the way you use the this keyword, we'd have to set up some instance variables or class variables. I'm going to create some instance variables. So I'm going to do int x equals 7, int y equals 8. And then let's go ahead and create another method. Let's call this method I don't want to do it right here. I'm going to create another class. I'm going to call it from another class, public. It's already there. I wasn't. Dog. Let's call this class. Let's give it a constructor. Let's actually throw my methods in there. Let's call a constructor and dog. And let's give it some parameters, int x, int y, and then I want to just take that public out. There we go. And then let's say system dot out dot print line, and this is x, and then let's add the x. Let's do the same thing for y. Control C, Control V. Let's say this is y. Alright, and then we're going to create a dog class. So dog lucky equals new dog. And I have to send it 2 parameters. So let's say and that. And that's that. Now if I print this, it says this is x24, and because it pulls the parameters from right here. But if I add this keyword right here, this x and this y, it's going to pull them from right here instead of pulling them from the parameters. And as you see, 7 and 8. So remember that this means you're pulling it from your class. You're pulling it from like your class variables, your class members, your instance variables, however you remembered it. But you're pulling it from here if you do this keyword. This dog integer x. Remember, you can remember it like that. And then you have without it, it pulls it from the parameters. You can also use this keyword with constructors. So let's go ahead and create a couple more constructors. And we're going to give this one int. Let's give this a none. And we'll just go this. And then we'll give it 2 data types right here. Let's say 8 and 9. And what this does is it's going to call the actual constructor, this one, and give x the value right here and the x the value right here. So let's go ahead and take these out. Let's remove the this from here and the this from here. So now it should be 8. Let's change that 8 and 9. Let's give it a bigger number. That way it shows better on the difference on it. Now when I print it, you can see it prints out this now because I sent it to here. And then I said this constructor, and you throw it inside of a parameter so it knows it's a constructor. You don't put the little period on it. And then it sends these to this constructor, and then it gives the value x and y from these parameters. Therefore, that's why I got 845 and 356. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about access modifiers. Access modifiers, there are 4 types. There's your public, your protected, and your private. Your public is pretty much accessible by any class, any package, any subclass, or anything pretty much. The protected would probably be the next level of security level under that, and it's accessible by any class, any package, or any subclass, but it's not accessible outside of the package. And then you have your no modifier, which you see right here, which has nothing. It's just blank, and it's accessible by any class, any packager, and that's it. Any class or package. And then you have your private, which is only accessible by the class. Say if I was to take my let's create an integer, and let's call it integer z, and let's make it into a 89, and let's go ahead and make this one private, and then we'll try to call it. Okay, as you can see with this, we can go to lucky. Let's go to lucky dot, and then as you see, it only shows the integer x and the integer y. You don't see the integer z because the integer z is private and it's not allowed to be viewed outside of that. And if we was to change it to say protected, we could actually see it. As you can see, now it shows a different, because it's a little square box, but now it's accessible through the integer. And the way you would control that, you would be like int f equals lucky.z, and now f has the property of z. But like I said, if we change this to nothing, you can still use it. You change it to public, you can still use it. You change it to private, you cannot. That's about all for the access modifier. Alright, that's all I'm going to do for this part of the tutorial. The tutorial's not finished. I'm going to make a second part to this, but my time's running down. Thank you for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and have a great day.